So I suppose you want to be epic, just like me, some guy Gary. Well, today we have the 3-way armor set speedy spectacular build showcase. We have a nice void luminipotent build, a solar lustrous build, and a void U-technology themed build. Stay tuned to find out just how you too can be this cool. Hello everybody, it is me, some guy Gary. Welcome back to yet another Destiny 2 build video. Somehow, someway, I have yet again made another Destiny 2 build video. I'm going to be trying to make something useful out of a couple of the new armor sets or old returning set. We're going to start out with the Void class. We have the U-technology set. This will drop from the Pinnacle Ops here. The U-technology set can be gathered by playing any of the Pinnacle activities. It drops from them. And its armor bonus is 2-piece Gift of the Ley Lines. Rapidly defeating combatants with void energy spawns a void breach. 4-piece Techion's Foresight. After collecting a void breach, your next final blow with a void weapon triggers a detonation. The detonation is more powerful if it is triggered quickly after collecting a void breach. Reading that, I immediately went to, Felwinter's Helm. Felwinter's Helm armor perk is powered melee hits weaken targets. Powered melee final blows create a burst of energy that dramatically weakens nearby targets. Finishers and final blows against more powerful targets increase the radius of the burst and the length of the weakening effect. And then we hop over into the Void Walker subclass. I'm using Nova Bomb Cataclysm, Healing Rift, Strafe Glide, Pocket Singularity, Scatter Grenade just because they recharge faster. You can swap these for whatever your heart desires. I'm also using Feed the Void for Devour, and then I chose Soul Siphon, the new Void Walker aspect. This can be kind of fun since we're going to be up close and personal anyways. I figured try it out, why not, give it a shot. Using Echo of Cessation, Echo of Vigilance, Echo of Provision, Echo of Exchange, and Echo of Obscurity. So this build's going to mainly focus on melees, charged melees, and finisher final blows. I'm running Izanagi's Burden, Ross Arago 4, and the Edge Transit. And then if we pop down onto the artifact, we have Volatile Marksman, Elemental Siphon, Malign Harvest, Gold from Lead, Harsh Refraction, Void Flux, and Limit Break. Some of these aren't going to really come in handy, but I figured fill in the slot either way. Pop over to the mod screen quick. Obviously, you're going to want to try to focus on like melees for this. I wasn't able to get any U-technology with high melee stat. If you like the build, make sure you're maxing out the stats that matter the most. We're going to pop on over to today's Arc build. All right, so now that we're on the Arc build, we're using Fallen Sunstar with the Luminipotent armor. The Luminipotent armor can be grabbed from completing generally anything in the PvE tab here. For example, the Fire Team Ops will drop it, as well as Solo Ops here. Fallen Sunstar's armor perk is Ionic Conductor. Ionic traces you create move faster and grant you nearby ability energy. Nearby allies also gain ability energy when you collect an Ionic trace. You're going to be farming abilities pretty fast. And then the armor perks for Luminipotent set here are 2-piece Ionic Overclock. While amplified, your fusion rifles, linear fusion rifles, and heat weapons gain increased handling, reload, and vent speeds. 4-piece Shocking Clear. Final blows with jolt or against jolted combatants create Ionic traces. Again, lots of uptime, lots of amplification. You're going to be sprinting around like an absolute mad lad, because not only that, we are also using Delicate Tomb. Delicate Tomb is a fusion rifle exotic arc weapon. Tempest Cascade. Collecting an Ionic trace overcharges his weapon's next shot, jolting targets on hits. Trader's Vessel Overload. It has built-in overload for you. Fires a wide horizontal spread when fired from the hip. Final blows with this weapon have a chance to generate Ionic traces. Powerful foes and opposing guardians also generate Ionic traces. Again, tons of Ionic traces here. The top slot weapon is interchangeable. Use whatever you want here. And then I also have a Boom Slang on. It's a linear fusion rifle with a pretty solid roll. Obviously want to go into a linear fusion rifle heavy here, just that way you're doing the max damage. This is a super easy, simple build to use. Focusing on the Delicate Tomb, you're going to want to pop over to the mod screen and make sure you copy this. And then I'll just show you the mods from the Tablet of Ruin we have here. Again, maxing out whichever stat matters to you most. Probably what you're going to want some high weapons here. That way you can have ammo generation for the Delicate Tomb. It is your main weapon. That thing goes hard. It goes burr. We'll pop up onto the subclass screen. We're using Chaos Reach, Healing Rift, Strafe Glide, Chain Lightning, Storm Grenades, Ionic Sentry, and Electrostatic Mind. Spark of Beacon, Spark of Amplitude, Spark of Ions, Spark of Discharge. With this perk here on the Tablet of Ruin, Limit Break, casting a super while you're critically wounded or have an elemental buff matching your super element grants a period of increased super damage. So make sure you're popping that Chaos Reach whenever you're weak or you have an elemental buff applied to yourself. Super simple build. You're just shooting stuff with Delicate Tomb, popping over, throwing abilities. It's very simple, very fun. Luminipotent will only make it better. And then finally, I have a solar build as well for you guys today. Gonna be using Apotheosis Veil. Apotheosis Veil armor perk, Insatiable. Immediately regenerate health, melee, grenade, and rift energy for you and and your nearby allies upon activating your super. After your super ends, temporarily gain greatly increased melee and grenade regen speed, so you can spam melees and grenades for a short period of time after your super here. We're using the Lustrous Armor, 2-piece, Photo Galvanic. Receiving healing temporarily grants your solar weapons increased flinch, handling, and reload speed. It's 4-piece Cauterize, Rapid Solar Final Blows heal you. Pop up under the subclass screen, we're using Song of Flame, Phoenix Dive, Strafe Glide, Incinerator Snap. Fusion Grenades is important here, that way you can spam those after your super. Touch of Flame, Hellion, Ember of Mercy, Ember of Empyrean, Ember of Searing, and Ember of Torches. And then I'm going with Mint Retrograde. I have a pretty solid Darkest Before now. And then Dragon's Breath. Dragon's Breath is a highly slept on, super fun rocket launcher, but you could use Galley if your heart so desires. Pop over to the mod screen here, copy all of this, and then we're using the Implement of Curiosity this time around because it has some pretty fun perks. For example, Radiant Shrapnel. Dealing sustained weapon damage while radiant or defeating a Scourge combatant with a weapon causes the target to release solar projectiles that deal damage and Scourge on impact. Fever and Chill is important too, that way you can keep this up. And with that being said, that'll conclude today's 3-way build spectacular. If you guys have any armor set bonuses / builds you want to see in the future, please do leave them in the comment section below. I appreciate you. Any suggestions to tweak any of these builds will also be appreciated. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. And that has been Some Guy Gary's 3-way speedy spectacular signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.